chronic stress, your diet, even just having a baby, right? Postpartum depression
Yes.
is real, grief, loss, were you in high school and you were bullied? Were you cyber stalked? There's so many things. Or you moved, being in the military, you got up and left, and your whole world is different. All those things can cause, and you have to really work through it. And ketamine really allows that.
That's amazing. So, no matter what sort of trauma you've had, I know maybe if you were 6 years old and your best friend moved away, and that's a sort of hidden trauma that gave you an
Yes.
abandonment wound, you could come into your ketamine clinic and have an infusion of ketamine. And what would be the process of how does the ketamine help you work through that sort of buried trauma?
So sometimes it doesn't come out. There's sometimes people have experience where they didn't even really realize. For example, let's say the 6-year-old person that experienced the trauma, in the infusion, it may come out as all of a sudden, because really when you're in the infusion experience, it's just your ego's left, your stories are left, and you're just seeing things for how they are, right? Your friend moved, and maybe what happens is in the infusion, you have a memory of you and your best friend playing, and you just feel love. You just feel so much gratitude, and you just love the memory, and you just feel joy and love, and you just come in and you wake up like having that peace, and realizing that you weren't abandoned. She moved because it was her family, right? You weren't abandoned. She didn't intentionally abandon you. It had nothing to do with you. That was just the side effect kind of thing, and the outcome that your subconscious mind created, right? And the infusion allows you to just like let that go, and just realize that it had nothing to do with you, right? Because
So
most things that happen in our lives, it's always tied to us because that's our perception, right? Like everything is related to us, what's going on. If somebody stands you up, they stood me up, right? But 99% of the time it had nothing to do with you. Stuff was happening to them. And that's
Mhm.
what's really difficult in life, is because we are so about ourselves.
Mhm.
Obviously, like, for example, this experience here, us being live, all three of us in this experience, and everyone watching at home, have a completely different perception of what's happening right now,
Mhm.
right?
mhm.
That's what ketamine
So
allows you to let go.
so that like what it does in like in simple way. So what it does, if you have a trauma when you are younger, that what they do is you go to that trauma but with an adult mind, not like when you was a little girl, little boy. So an adult mind, now you understand more like what happened and you can let it go. So that's exactly what the kind of trip this ketamine gave you.
Yes.